Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the channel. Mabry here, and today we're going to be watching episode 2 of Appare-Ranman. So, last episode, we were introduced to our two main characters, Appare, of course, who's a little bit of a rebel, a bit of a genius, does things his way, has his own ideals, yada yada yada, and so on and so forth, right? And then we got Kusame by his side, who is more of a traditionalist, I would say. But that all doesn't matter because they're out of Japan now, they are in the USFA. We also identified last episode what exact timeline they were in, or, what exact time period they were in. What did I say last episode? 1894 to 1906, something like that. It was when the United States had 45 states, alright? Literally the turn of the 20th century. So, we got all that context in hand, and we also had a little clue at the very beginning of the last episode as to where they are going with this, right? They are going to enter a race featuring steam-powered cars. So, now that they are in the USFA, I guess, my guess would be Appare is going to go around and try and explore all this new stuff, new technology, and so on and so forth, whereas Kosame is probably going to try and find a way to get back home. So, with that in mind, let's get right into the episode. Alright, I skipped the opening, and let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, I should probably also mention that it's been confirmed that Appare-Ranman is also going to be delayed because of the coronavirus situation. But there will be 3 episodes in total before being delayed. Of course, episode 1 or 2 were released earlier as a preview. I mean, I highly doubt this small boat would be able to do a trans-Pacific. Yeah, it's way too small of a ship. They would need sails. There's no way they have enough power. Also, question. How are they able to understand each other? Like, okay, fine, Appare might know English. Kosame understands English? Yeah. He's gotta go as a passenger. I mean, a ship to Japan shouldn't be that expensive, honestly. Oh, that's something that Kosama can do. 45 cents. Ooh. Kentoshi. How are they communicating? Okay, so he is the real deal. Hey, you got a lot of money? Yeah, he was a lot stronger than initially. Hmm. Parade of some sort? Oh. Ah, there we go. Ooh, a racetrack. Seriously? Now, once again, this is not historical at all. They did not have cars with this kind of performance at the turn of the century. Yes. So that's $1.5 million at that age. That's like what, 100 million nowadays? Yeah, this seriously seems rather than turn of the century. It seems more like the 40s or something. 30s.
コツコツ10年働きたいなら好きにすればいい。俺はやる。この大陸を誰よりも早く横断してみせる。小雨がやらないなら車のシートは一つでいいか。
見たことないか。首にこのタトゥーの男だ。
うせろ。お前触るんじゃねえ。あ、ちょっと大丈夫か坊や。なんだここは動物園か。
俺は坊やじゃない。お前たちは違う。
なんだ。待て待て待て。外から見るだけだって言っただろ。
ああ、今日は車を外から見るだけだ。建物を外から見てどうするんだ。
いや、勝手に入るのはまずい。不法侵入は泥棒の始まりだぞ。
レースに参加するならまず実物を見ないと。日本に帰りたいんだろう。
What?
暗いな。明かりがいい。
They're gonna get discovered somehow. And then one thing's gonna lead to another, and then they're gonna get maybe another crew member? That's the girl, right?
暗闇の中ですごいな。あっぱれ。危ないぞ。大丈夫か。
Appare, you are... I don't even know what to say about you.
怪我はないか。おおお。
誰だお前。
女。
こんなところで何してる。
あ、いや、
車を見に来た。ちょっと見せてくれ。
おい。
待て。俺たちは怪しいものではない。
ことだ。近づくな。お前たちのせいで大事な車が。
Yeah, Appare's gonna fix it.
なんで蹴りだ。
女で悪かったな。
待て。戦う気はない。
なら武器を捨てろ。
これはそう簡単には捨てられん。殴るなら殴れ。
ああ、やっぱり。なあ、これガソリン自動車だろ。お、何やってんだ小雨。
This is just...
総排気量は約6000。
じゃあ本当に車が見たかっただけなのか。
ああ、私の名は一色小雨。あいつは空の。
How are they communicating with each other? Seriously.
このことは穏便に。
私も同じだから何も言う資格はない。
Oh.
ただの雑用係なの。忍び込んで勝手に車を走らせてる。
I see.
わかる。
ああ。子供の頃レーサーに憧れて、私はチームに入って雑用係になった。
Maybe second generation immigrant?
最初に学んだのは、
女はレーサーになれない。
But there's also no way that outfit would work in that at that time either.
この世界に
Low.
レーサーはいない。
じゃあ車を走らせてた。
ただの憂さ晴らしだ。けど、それは今日まで。車を壊した。これでクビになる。
Power's gonna fix it.
俺たちなら何も見なかったことに。
チームのみんなに嘘はつけない。レーサーはメカニックに命を預けるんだ。嘘をついてまでチームには残れない。
だってレーサーじゃないし、女はレーサーになれないんだろ。
あ、
じゃあなんで。
たとえ世界が女がレーサーになることを許さなくても、自分からその資質を捨てるようなことはしたくない。
Her pride. That's something Kosama can relate with. Oh, his pride and dignity.
1回の給油でどれくらい走るんだ？
おい、今そんなことが。
50か55マイルくらいかな。
タンクは 40？
43だ。
リッター 1.2 か。
そんなこと聞くとどうする？
自分の車を作って大陸横断レースに出る。
お前たちが？
そうだ。そして勝つ。
お前たちも賞金目当てのバカ野郎か。車を作る金はどうする？道もない荒野を走れる土地勘は？危険地帯で無法者から身を守れるのか？運が良ければロスを出る前にリタイアか、下手をすれば荒野でのたれ死にだ。
のたれ死に。
簡単なことは面白くないだろう。
え？
誰にもできなかったことをやって、俺はいつか世界を驚かせる。
誰にもできなかったのは不可能だからだ。
不可能なことと不可能だと思われてることは違う。女がレーサーになるのは不可能なのか？待てだ。お前の運転、昼間の奴らに全然負けてない。車のこともよく知ってる。
お前に何がわかる？
わからないから聞いてる。自分がどこまで行けるか、なんで他人に決めさせるんだ？
やめろ、あっぱれ。世の中にはお前のように失うもののないやつにはわからないことがあるんだ。
そうか。お前も複雑。
遅れだ。じゃあな。勝手に開けて入ったんだ。戸締まりして帰れよ。
あ、なあ、名前は君の。
シャーレン。ジン・シャーレン。
かたじけない。シャーレン。
好きなだけでいい。どうせお前たちに車なんか作れるわけない。
Her laundry.
はいこれ今日の分。ありがとう。お母さん。私が店を継いだら嬉しい？
そりゃそうだよ。忙しくて人でもならないし。
一人娘なんだ。いつか結婚して店を継いでくれないと。
そっか。
And then when she gets there, huh? Nothing happened.
昨日の夜無断で走らせた。
何言ってんだ。夢でも見たのか。見ろ、4号車なら絶好調だ。
どうして？
テストなのにコースレコード更新だ。おい、3号車もさっさとコースに入れ。
あいつらが。
おいジン、お前もだ。ぼさっとしてないで仕事しろ。
はい。
お前すごいんだな。
エンジンは無事だったし、
パーツはいくらでもあったから。たとえ世界が許さなくてもか。
捨てろと言われても俺には手放せない。たとえ
And Appare's like, whatever.
さあ帰って飯を食うか。あんな倉庫でも住む場所があってよかったよな。衣食住足りて礼節を知る。
Oh, it's the kid again.
そんなもんどうするつもりだ。おい、もうそのくらいで。大の大人が子供相手に。
誰だお前、こいつの親父か。
いや違うけど。
じゃあ黙ってろ。
野蛮人どもにこの国のルールを教えてやるぜ。
Oh, they have guns.
鉄砲か。小雨。
ビビりやがって。誰だ。
うるせえな。酒がまずくなる。
Bunch of weird guys. All right. Okay, I think that's about it. I'll see you guys after this. Alrighty, so this episode continues with the over-the-topness of the first episode, not really letting down, and introducing more of the characters that we see in the first episode and in the opening, right? So in this one, we are introduced to Dylan, the gunslinger, I guess you could say, I guess famous racer, and we can also see him show up at the end of this episode, dishing out justice. Really seems like a cowboy sort of character, although not in the traditional sense, but maybe in the way he does things, right? He's a maverick, he's a cowboy, he does things that his way, and so on and so forth. And then we got Xialian as well, a stereotypical Chinese girl as well. I think within this anime, you can see that it's like a perfect example of the different stereotypes that Japanese animators like to put on these various cultures, right? So whether it's their depiction of the U.S., of Yankees, of Westerners, or their depiction of Chinese, or their depiction of Native Americans, right? So we got Xialian again in the really sort of stereotypical Japanese anime style of clothing, which is like sort of like a half. Her lower half is more like a kung fu clothing, which they generally use when they're training or whatnot. And then her upper body is more of a sort of qipao kind of thing, right? Definitely, it's not something that's generally mixed together. But if you look at a lot of the old school mangas or animes that depict Chinese characters, that's how they usually dress. And then of course, I love it that her family is actually running a clothes cleaning business, right? Well, that is, I guess, in a sense, more historically accurate here. And then also we got the little Indian boy, right? His name isn't really mentioned, but according to the cast list, I believe his name is Hototo. Maybe, who knows? Well, like seriously walking around town and in the turn of the century in that kind of attire, right? Like it's really, it's over the top, and I'm sure that there's probably going to be some people that are going to get offended by this. But I know for me, I've never really put that much focus on being politically correct or whatnot. I think it's pretty hilarious and pretty funny. And this is not meant to be taken seriously, right? It's an over the top kind of series. Go balls to walls with it. And not because it's not just the characters, right? It's also the entire setting as well, right? It's definitely not historical in any way. Diesel and having these diesel cars being this high performance, actually talking about doing a trans-American journey, and then apparently Appare is going to be using a steam-powered car to compete with these diesel-powered cars. Woo! And then, we can see from their, from when Appare was investigating and listing off their capabilities and whatnot, like almost 100 miles per hour. Please, please, right? And then also the designs and all that. But we knew that from the first episode, right? It's definitely not going for historical accuracy. It's just sort of, kind of using a historical setting, but it's definitely not historical in any shape, way, or form. And I mean, it's just meant to be funny and entertaining, right? And I think that it does plenty of. I was really entertained by this episode as well. Got to know a little bit more about Kosame as well. And Shalian's story. Well, I mean, they do come from a similar kind of situation, right? Which was kind of surprising to me that they actually they actually made a way to make the two connect in a sense, and make the story maybe a little bit deeper, right? Xiaolian with her prejudice not against the Chinese but against females, against women, and in Kosume's case, it is the 20th century now. What are you doing running around with a katana, right? Which is also a popular topic in a lot of, I guess, more samurai-oriented works, if you could call them that, that are dealing with around after the Meiji Restoration period, which no, it's also a common topic here, right? But I did like how they sort of connected the story there, making the characters and their motivations maybe a little bit deeper than just a surface level, just surface level prejudice, right? What else to talk about? Yeah, I think that's basically it, right? The aesthetic is definitely a big mix of. I would not say that's late 1890s, early 1900s at all. That really seems to me more like at least the 30s or 40s or something like that, in terms of all the buildings, the style, and the actual stuff that is being portrayed there. So I don't know why they couldn't have just put it in that time period. Well, I guess they wanted to. They didn't want to deal with World War II or something like that, but they could have done it in the 30s as well. I don't know. But anyways, it's really puzzling why they don't want to particularly set this anime at the end of the 1890s, at the turn of the century. There doesn't seem to be any reason for them to do that, right? But yeah, that's basically it as a comment. But like, again, I keep saying this, but for my style, I do like to sort of analyze and go deeper into this sort of context and background and so on and so forth. But for this series, it's very apparent that it's not taking itself seriously. It's just grabbing whatever it thinks it's fun, it thinks it's entertaining, and putting them together. And so far, it's been doing a pretty good job at keeping us entertained. And so, keep it up. I don't have any negative things to say about what they're doing right now. Unfortunately, like I mentioned at the beginning, this anime is also going to be delayed because of coronavirus, because of COVID-19, and we are going to get another episode 3, and then from episode 4 onwards, well, we will. It's unclear when they will come back, right? This anime season has honestly been a huge mess, but hey, such is life, right? And like I said in the other delayed series, Japan probably has some more high priority stuff to deal with right now. So, it is what it is. Hopefully you guys will stay safe as well, and whenever the series comes back on, we will continue as usual. But first, of course, we still got episode 3 next episode. So stay tuned for that. Take care as always, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.